My statement is my own, and it does not reflect any position held by my institution of employment. So let me begin by saying that wildlife killing contests are wrong. Admittedly, many of the issues that we face in the world are controversial and they're wrought with moral uncertainty, but this one really is an ethical no-brainer. That should make us wonder, why on earth are killing contests still allowed in Oregon? Wildlife killing contests are one of those rare and unfortunate cases in which legality has been severed from morality, and the bill being proposed today is a laudable effort to change that. But if we're going to change or institute a law, we probably want to be able to explain why. A minute ago, I told you that wildlife killing contests are wrong, but I don't want you just to take my word for it. I'm a philosopher, and philosophers don't accept claims before they're backed up with good reasons and sound arguments. So let's think about this systematically. We can start by isolating the component of wildlife killing contests that's morally problematic. I think we can rule out the notion of contest as morally problematic. Contests are things that are common in everyday life. They're often fun and usually benign. There's nothing inherently wrong with contests. So what about the killing part? I think most of us acknowledge that killing is at least morally questionable. We tend to suspend judgment in extreme cases like war or death with dignity, but on the whole, we probably start with the assumption that killing is wrong, unless circumstances create some exception. But the circumstances here, remember, involve a contest. I think it's safe to say that killing for contest is wrong, or at least that's safe to say when we're talking about killing a human being. That leads us to the final step of our systematic analysis. Does adding the word wildlife do anything to make us think differently about killing contests? I don't think it should, and here's why. If you think killing contests are wrong, but wildlife killing contests are fine, you're probably coming from what philosophers call an anthropocentric utilitarian perspective. According to this perspective, only humans matter. Humans alone are considered ends in themselves, persons with inherent value and dignity. While other life forms are relegated to the realm of things. Denied agency, interest, or autonomy, animals can be viewed as mere goods for humans to exploit and enjoy. You should know that if you disagree with everything I just said, and I just described, you are not alone. In fact, research suggests the vast majority of people in this country believe wildlife have value for their own sake, above and beyond any benefits they provide for humans. And yet, an anthropocentric utilitarian perspective is deeply embedded in our country's economic institutions, legal systems, and social customs. It normalizes unconscionable cruelties of commercial factory farming. It underwrites state-sponsored programs of lethal wildlife management, which systematically destroy millions of animals each year. It habituates us to routine acts of deadly violence, quelling our conscience as we swat pests and exterminate vermin. An anthropocentric utilitarian perspective finds a near-perfect exemplification in wildlife killing contests. Killing contests treat animals like objects by reducing their lives to tally marks, elevating their deaths to victories. They become the moral equivalents of chess pawns or bowling pins, things we play with, things which serve no other purpose than to provide for our entertainment and enjoyment. But animals are not objects or mere things. Animals are living organisms with complex capacities for thought, feeling, and social interaction, and they have their own interests in survival and flourishing. So to be clear, to kill an animal, or many animals, or as many as you can, for the purpose of a contest is alarming and morally reprehensible. It's hard to believe that I actually have to say that. In some, wildlife killing contests are morally anachronistic. They're an anathema. They're vestiges of a radically outdated worldview and an inappropriately inclusive ethic. Our laws, like our behaviors, need to reflect what we currently know about the world and what we collectively understand as right. This bill takes us one step closer to that kind of moral maturity.